Welcome back to the freaking podcast, dudes. Hottest Takes has finally made its return after being snowed in. Separated.
Yeah.
But the freaking weather, dude.
Bad. It's bad.
I know, it's bad for us.
I drank way too much beer
Yeah,
during
like-
this break.
Did you?
Way too much.
Dude, when we had, so for those
As a
who don't
beer's
know, the Hottest
setting my
Take took a
hand
little
right now.
hiatus. We had, 8 inches of snow or whatever in the
That was
area.
like 6.
And that's like...
It was a lot.
That's
Dude,
like
in the
like
south,
3 feet here.
That's 3 feet. Yeah,
3
for real.
feet.
If there's like 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches of snow, it's literally that's 14 feet of snow.
Yeah, we're
pretty
gonna,
much.
some people see this and they're like, 6 inches ain't
Yeah.
shit. No, it's shit for us.
Dude,
For us,
when,
yeah.
when
For us,
the
dude.
thermostat hits 0 in the mid south here, yeah, it's fucking cold.
Because I'm
It's
telling
really
you,
cold.
our cities are not ready for anything that's
No.
coming after that.
I hate
No,
the
it's
cold.
crazy.
No way.
You don't like
No.
the cold?
I hate the cold.
Well, by the way, welcome back, Boze. Thank you for joining us for the
Welcome
Yeah.
cast.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, but we wanted to get together, guys, do a little recap on college football season because I was sitting at home the other day thinking about our next episode coming up to record. I was like, man, I feel like a lot happened this college football
yeah.
season. I feel like so much happened throughout the college football season. And like, dude, it was actually a taxing ordeal just like trying to, for myself, getting all the stories that were going on. There were so many stories. You had so many things coming to an end. You had Saban's career coming to an end. You had Pac-12, literally a conference, a Power 5 conference. Gone. It's just gone.
Disassembled.
You have the 4-team playoff gone. You
Out.
have like so many things in college football that just like either ended or is starting now that I just kind of want to take a little review.
Yep.
So, and then of course we're going to talk maybe a little bit of playoff football and then like maybe a little bit of NBA news. But like I said, we have Pac-12 says goodbye in a good way. I feel like they Washington showed out for them. I mean, it was a little bit disappointing of a championship, dude. I don't think they're ready for those. I don't think
Yeah,
they're
they
ready
ain't
for the
ready.
Wolverines, dude.
Nah,
Those
they ain't
Wolverines
ready.
were prepped and ready. Which I want to talk about that too. I want to talk about Harbaugh. Dude, he cheated,
Yep.
obviously.
Yep.
Served
True.
2 suspensions this season.
Yep.
Then won a national championship and got an NFL job.
Yep.
What a baller, dude. What a freaking
what a
baller.
climb.
What
What
a
a climb,
time,
yeah.
dude. Holy crap.
That guy's had a good dick day all season.
Yeah, dude, come on, man. That's fucking awesome. Like, I know, like, no, his image is not tarnished at all.
No.
I think even if they get caught, like, even if they get hit with heavy sanctions, Harbaugh's going to be the one that won the championship for him.
Yep.
It's good, dude. Everything is peachy for Jim Harbaugh.
Well, I think
He served
everything-
2 suspensions this season.
I think
Two.
like with the suspension wise, like especially with him still in silence, everybody realized that that's part of the game. He just kind of went a little bit over the line.
Yeah.
Either way, he won a national championship.
Yeah, won national championship. Like, dude, just,
And now is the head coach of the Chargers.
yeah. So to me though, I feel like dude is erased
Yeah.
for Jim. I know I'm not saying Michigan might whatever. Something I don't know what's going to happen to Michigan. I think the investigations are still going on.
It's kind of like Kyle Perry situation with Memphis when you get into Kentucky.
Yeah, you just move
Like-
on.
like,
You
yes.
just move on.
Just
No,
got all those recruiting violations.
Yeah.
Is like, you know what? I'm out of here.
But you gave the team their best season, so everybody's going to love you still.
I don't think Michigan hired.
Michigan just hired. They just hired Sharon Moore. Yeah, the guy, the offense coordinator and O-line. He's the guy that took over for the 4 games
Yeah.
that Harbaugh's on. He's the one that cried on TV too, by the way. Yikes.
Cringe.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Cringe.
When I was watching that video of him being like, Jim just gives he just gives everything. I was like, all right, dude,
All right,
come
dude.
on,
Ease
bro.
up.
Ease
Ease
up,
up.
dude. But yeah, I think that was a good hire. I think he seems like a sound guy. Their offense has been really fucking good for the past however many seasons now that
Yeah.
he's been there. So let's go from the high though to some of the lows. There's some really disappointing football seasons this year though in college football. Yeah. So you got Wolverines that obviously great season for them. I think they were one of the best. I think they were honestly one of the best college football teams I've seen in a while.
The well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it was exactly. It was
Yeah.
just like they never seemed in a funk. They just seemed to play really good football all year, no matter who was on who was on their sidelines. Kind of like they knew what play was going to come. Kind of seemed.
Hey.
But I guess they kind of. I mean, but also towards the end of the
Kinda
season, they proved they could do it without
Yeah,
cheating.
Yeah, if they were
Waste of
cheating,
effort.
if they
Yeah.
were
Like-
cheating, yeah. We talked about that too. When the whole rumors came out about Michigan cheating, it was just weird for them to be the ones that get caught. Because it's like you're the best football team in your conference by like a mile. Like
Yeah.
it's not. No one's even close to you.
Yeah, why
And
do
it seemed like they were the best team in college football. Period. Too.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio State.
Like if it was Nebraska,
Ohio
or
State
something,
was
I don't
really good.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, you need to cheat for the Rutgers game.
Yeah, like why would you not just be Vanderbilt? Like, you know, like if you're gonna cheat, you might as well be Vanderbilt.
Right,
Like
yeah,
just
exactly.
be really bad,
Dude,
but like
Well,
just chance it.
Vandy would have been more.
Bose,
smart
that's a
about
good point.
Yeah,
Why?
Vandy would have been really smart.
It's shocking. It's never the shitty teams that get caught cheating.
No, it's the
it's
good
like you would
ones.
think it'd be the worst of the worst. The Vandys, the Rutgers, like you would think it was them, but like every time you've ever had like a national huge, like when SMU got caught cheating way back in the day, like they were the best college football team. You know, you have Michigan got caught cheating. It's like great football team. Even in NFL, you have the Patriots have gotten caught several times with some shaky stuff, and it's like,
Why?
You're the best football
You got
team.
Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Exactly,
What do you need to cheat?
Exactly. But let's talk about some of the disappointing seasons. To me, I think for me, one of the most disappointing seasons is Auburn. So I know it's Hugh Freeze's first season, but I felt like they had a talented enough team to get 8 wins.
Yeah.
To get 8 wins, and especially not lose to. Like, let's see some of the losses. Let's see.
Lost New Mexico State is like
New
a
Mexico State.
20-point favorite
Yes. Let's see.
in their house.
I mean, you got teams like Florida State. I wouldn't call it a disappointing season, but it's disappointing in the aspect as how mediocre a team you actually are when you don't have a Heisman quarterback on your team or starting on your lineup.
They were terrible without him.
I'd put LSU
Whereas-
in there if we're talking about SEC too.
For disappointing seasons. Yeah, because like, dude, you have
Jaden Daniels, fucking
Jaden Daniels and Neighbors
Heisman
were
winner.
two of the most talented.
Yeah.
You know, the most talented quarterback receiver duo in college. I think college football last season. I mean, dude, no one's stopping Neighbors. Literally no one. I didn't see a single team play good defense against him all year, and it just like to mount to like nothing.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
Nothing.
I think another really disappointing college football season, and I don't know if this is warranted or not, but Colorado, obviously, you know, there was a lot of hype there to win what, 3, 4?
Yeah, their Vegas line was 3.5 wins.
We talked about that earlier this year with Colorado. That a lot of the pressure on Colorado was unwarranted. Like you just said, the Vegas odds were 3.5. Colorado was supposed to win 3.5 games.
Yep.
And let me tell you guys, the Vegas boys know what they're talking
They
about.
know.
The numbers are very close to what
time.
they're going to be.
Yeah.
Vegas is going to take in every consideration. They're
Well,
going to
everybody
consider.
got their hypes up because with the first win against TCU, but TCU
Yes.
got. I mean, they were a bad team from the start.
Right.
they weren't
And
good.
They weren't
Nebraska.
good. They were just high, ranked a little bit higher because of making it to the national championship
Yeah.
last year. And speaking of national championship, can we please get a good national championship game? Like
Yeah.
Just
like,
one.
Just one. Like don't get me wrong, it was like a pillow fight the first half this year, but after the first half, Michigan just ran off.
It was just disappointing because of the first 2 games in the college football playoffs were really good this year.
Which
Yeah.
I will say,
The Texas Washington game
was
and the
awesome.
Alabama Michigan games were fantastic games, and then you just got to the national championship, and it was just I turned it off at halftime or before the game was over.
Yeah, the real natty
sucked.
was Alabama and Michigan. That was an awesome game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was
which I
such a
will
good
say,
game.
Penis missed like 4 wide open receivers for a touchdown.
Yes,
in that
yes.
game.
What do we think he's going to translate to the NFL?
I like Penix at Seattle a lot. I think he fits like in the Seahawks a lot. Like you got to find a team and an offensive scheme that like does a lot of quick passes, a lot of screens.
Absolutely.
He's not going to stretch the field but he didn't stretch the field a lot this year. Like
that's
they
why
ran a
Gene-
lot of crossers.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
ran like a lot of screen passes.
Well, Gino's so successful. I mean, pretty successful at the Seahawks. I mean, Gino's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he was a stud at West Virginia.
Penix will
Yeah.
probably go second
He's a
round.
stud.
Yeah, I just think Penix. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He seems like a smart quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to we've seen that in NFL time and time again, where like talent is not all that it takes to be an NFL quarterback. You do have to have some brains. Like
Yeah.
you do have to be able to kind of think your way through a play.
He's got the arm.
I think he might be okay. I don't know who out of this quarterback class who are you thinking that's going to make an actual impact on an NFL team coming out.
Caleb Williams and Drake May, both
Yeah.
of them. I like
You
both
know, I
of
think
those guys.
Caleb Williams got a lot of hate at the end of the season for some of his decisions.
I think it's a very weak quarterback class, to be honest.
I do
think,
too.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think really anybody's going to make much of it. I think Williams is going to start wherever he goes, but I don't think he's going to be that good.
I'll be honest, dude. I think Caleb Williams is like probably. I think he's generational talent. I think he's like clear and above. Like I thought he's best football player in college this year. But I mean, once you ask a guy to be the hero every single game, because that's by the way, that's my take. I think USC are the most disappointing college football
I agree.
season, probably in
That
like
is a good
recent
one.
memory.
Really?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Like they were terrible.
Dude,
Like
after-
they weren't even good. Like
after
they were
that,
awful. Like their defense was so bad, and they were like, "Hey, Caleb, by the way, we need you to be a hero again." Like
Right.
you ask a guy week after week after week to be the hero. No one in the NFL ever asked their quarterback to be the hero every
Now,
week.
if you
point.
roast him about crying in his mom's arms, dude, that's just like stress right there.
Yeah,
Like,
they were
he's
totally
done.
dependent on him to put up, anywhere from 42 to 58 points a game.
Yeah.
And to hope to win, not even
Right.
just to win, just like,
They pretty much said like, hey, defense is shit. We need you to do everything.
yeah.
Yeah, USC might have had one of the most disappointing seasons. To go from like a national championship favor, like a people were pointing at USC saying that this could be their season, that they finally get it done, especially with the Heisman returning. Like it's looking good for them, and to finish 8-5,
Yeah. 8 wins,
8 and
dude.
5.
They barely squeaked in the bowl.
I think
5-4 in conference,
I
4
think
and
he's
3
worth
at
a
home.
first round pick. Like I think he's worth the top 10 pick, honestly. But like for the chance that he's good, but I just don't see him being the number 1 overall pick, especially with Chicago having the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, and
And he already said he doesn't want to play there. He already said he said if he gets drafted, if they're going to draft him, then he just wants to stay in college, basically.
You going to pull an Eli Manning? Like, is that what he's going to do? You think he's going to be like, no,
Yeah,
like, you can trade
like,
me
I mean,
immediately?
Yeah,
Shout out Neon Dion. I hate it for him. I just feel like he got a lot of flack on and like got put into a limelight that he didn't deserve.
Yeah.
Like, or not they didn't deserve, but it was like unnecessary for a
It's
guy.
good. I mean, it's all names.
Well, just like imagine any football coach anywhere, your first Power 5 job,
Yeah.
and you're like, magazines are writing about you.
Yeah.
Right.
And you took over a team that had 1 win.
Right.
Like, imagine the stress for anybody to have. Like, I just feel like it was a little unfair. And in all honesty, I think if we're just being honest, I think Dion handled it well.
Yeah.
For a coach
He
that got
did.
thrown into the limelight, had a struggling season, I think he did a fantastic job.
I will say, dude, I think one of the also most disappointing teams this year, it might be a hot take, I don't know, but was Michigan State. Dude, like Mel Tucker, I thought closed the season out really good last season, and they had everything going. Of course, like everything they have on Mel Tucker about like the sexual assault allegation, things like that. He was fired. And then they were, awful. They were like one of the worst teams in college football in general. It's weird to see the trajectory that Michigan State was on at the end of the last season.
To like
And
immediate.
dude, immediately terrible. Like
Yep.
not even mediocre, they were awful. And I couldn't believe it. It was really odd, really strange to see that.
Another disappointing college football season for me was Arkansas.
Ooh, yeah.
I really like KJ a lot.
I think it
he's
was
a really talented
expected,
quarterback.
though.
It was, but just
Rocket.
for me, like just watching KJ, just still like having to struggle. I'm really happy he's transferring for this
Yeah.
last season. I forgot where is he?
Deserves to go
UCF.
somewhere else.
Where's
yeah.
he going?
UCF.
UCF. I'm really glad he's trying somewhere else because he is a really talented quarterback. Even Nick Saban was like, this guy's, as a physicality wise, one of the most physical quarterbacks in the SEC.
250.
And he's talented. And you can tell he wants to lead.
Yeah.
Too. So
And he's
I'm
like an
kinda happy.
athletic 250.
Oh,
Like,
Yes,
he's not
a super athletic 250.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude moves really well for 250 pounds. So I'm kind of glad he's moving somewhere else. And I guess our Arkansas is going to stick with the same guy in the drivers. They love him, dude.
Man, do they love Sam.
They love Sam
They
Pittman,
love
dude.
Sam Pittman. I do
He's very-
too.
Yeah.
I do
too. I like Sam
I
Pittman.
love Sam Pittman.
He's very motherly, too.
Dude, he's awesome.
He's very
Got a
motherly.
rack on him, bro. He's got a rack on him. Oh, my God.
Number one
man.
rack in college football,
The
dude.
man.
Sam Pittman. Shout out to
Dude.
Sam
I
Pittman.
think, I think there was more than usual upsetting seasons this year, though, because
Yeah.
I think North Carolina was upsetting, Iowa,
Georgia.
Georgia in the end,
Hey,
but
Georgia.
Georgia.
Come on, man.
Georgia in the end, but they still had an elite
But
season,
as like
and they still made a statement at the end, killing Florida
I agree,
State.
but Georgia has been it's been the top dog in the SEC for a while, and this year the SEC was kind of weak in a lot of spots, especially on the east side. It's like
Yeah.
Georgia had to be sitting there thinking like,
Oh, we're in the
just gonna
driver's
walk-
seat.
We're gonna walk right
Yeah,
back
it's a
into
ham-
this.
it's a gimme.
Yeah, I'm because I think they would have. I think they might have given Michigan a real good
a rematch with
run.
Alabama,
Yeah.
they probably beat them 4 out of 5
I
times.
think so. I think you're
Or
right.
at least 3.
I think you're right.
But Saban coached his tail off.
I think that was
game,
Saban.
dude.
That was his magnum opus. I don't think he
Yeah.
will ever coach better. I think that's where he retired. And like,
Awesome
I know
game.
Alabama loses in the national championship playoffs, but like that was a crazy season for them.
Yeah.
They were not looking at making a playoff run at all. You had questions at quarterback at the beginning of the season. You even had questions at quarterback halfway through the season there at Alabama. And I feel like Saban put together like literally the best team he possibly could. It was really well coached.
Yeah.
And I think they made it as far as they could go with that
Georgia
team.
still got robbed to me.
Talking about disappointing. It was obviously had to be disappointing to be Florida State in that
Oh,
situation.
man.
They would have got blown out in the first one. They would have got blown out by whoever they played.
Yeah, but I think they earned their way to get the blowout. Like I think you go undefeated in any of the Power Fives, you should be in the playoffs.
So I think that's like one of the advantages, though, of like
With their star
what do you
quarterback.
call it, the college football playoff committee. Like that's why they have the committee in the first place. Like you've got to live and die by the Georgia decision and the Florida State decision because week by week they choose the best teams. It's not like the best resume. You know,
True.
I think it factors into it, but overall, you know, you can't look at Georgia like you were saying earlier, Dylan. Like you can't look at Georgia's resume that week and be like, well, we want to put Alabama in because they just beat Georgia, who was,
Right.
most of the season #1 team in the country. You've got to put Alabama in somehow, but we can't put in Georgia. But then we can't put in Florida State either because even though they had an undefeated season,
They
their
lost
Heisman
their star
quarterback's
player.
out. Their second string was
Yeah.
also out at the time.
Who has no experience.
Yeah, and
Little to
so
no
you can't
experience.
put a true freshman at Florida State. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's flawless. I think
Yeah.
that's why we're going to the 12 team now.
The 12-team playoff
It-
is going to fix these issues because
Yeah.
I feel bad for Florida State too because they did like they beat Louisville. They beat a really good Louisville team in their conference championship game. I know they're not a top 10. They're 16 or whatever they were at the time. But I mean, I just felt like it just sucked to watch it too. It really
Yeah.
did. Like because I'm a big fan of Norvell.
It did,
I'm a
yeah.
big Norvell fan. I
It
think
did
he is
suck.
one of the most slept on coaches in college football.
Yeah.
I think people should be paying attention to him.
Oh, it's just hard for
And
me.
Florida State, dude, coaches have talked about it. That's not an easy place to recruit to. Actually,
No, it's not.
it's not. It's not the best facilities in college football. But with it has a lot of pressure on it. It has the pressure of Alabama and Georgia with none of the facilities.
Yeah,
that
with like
they
a high
have.
school
The
facility.
Georgia,
Exactly.
the Georgia thing is just so tough to me because I think about it like you just had the reigning back-to-back national championship who won, almost 30 games in a row.
Yeah,
And I don't care what they say about not factoring in because it's a different season, but they won 30 games in a row in the hardest conference in football history.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But like Boze said, like the committee has to just go, it's the week.
Yeah.
It's the week. It's got to be the week. It can't be like basketball. Because basketball is,
It's a whole resume.
It's a whole resume. That's what you take in. And if college football wants to do that, they could. But it's gotta be said. It's gotta be like, okay, first off you have to have a baseball and basketball have a ranking system for season.
Yeah.
They have a whole index that tells everybody that, hey, Mississippi State this year, they deserve to be in the college baseball, playoffs because you can look at their whole resume. It stacks up and they have a point system to do it.
Right.
I think college football is this guy get even with the 12-team playoff. I think they gotta get more, what's the word, like standardized with this
Yeah.
ranking. it can't be this whole like, well, we don't know what's going to happen. It's up to this committee to vote on it. It's like let's have some numbers to back it up.
It'll always
Right.
be like if they kept the 14 playoff, there's nothing they could do to make it.
No, nothing. I think the 14 playoff is a horrible idea. In the
Yeah.
beginning. I think that was a really crappy idea at the very, very beginning of all of that.
There's
Yeah.
always at least one team left out that should have been there.
And then this year of course, you had two.
Yeah.
Man, 12 team is going to be so sick, though.
I
It's going
think
to be
it's gonna
so
be so
awesome.
cool.
Oh,
It's
my
gonna be-
gosh. It's
I
gonna
think
be
the 12 team personally is a little too much. Given I know that it's cool to see a bunch of like people who you don't think are going to win it, and it's like cool to see the Cinderella team. At the same time, I just think it's going to be a scrimmage for a bunch of teams like Georgia.
Yeah, you have blowouts in every single because that's part of the playoff. If you're the best team, if you're the championship team of any sport, you should be able to get through the wild cards. You should be able to get through the high seeds
Yeah.
and the low seeds. You should be able to
Right.
go all the way through these different levels of the game. So I think it's going to give a more complete. When you win a national championship now in college football, it is complete. There is no argument about it. You had a fantastic season. You got to the playoffs. You handled business through all of your playoff games. You got to the last game and you handled business in the championship. I think we're about to start seeing a different level of college football too. I think the 12-team playoffs is going to bring out actually better football. I really do. I hope so. I hope it doesn't become like a fiasco where we just have a bunch of shitty teams out there.
I wouldn't say shitty teams, but I mean it's going to be some people who you wouldn't think are supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You're going to have a Cinderella team.
Which is good though, because
It is good.
in the Power Fives. Every Power Five team has the opportunity to be 12 in the nation.
It's
Yeah,
good.
in all
but
honesty.
there's going to be it's going to be an excuse like parade, like teams that get beat like your Ohio States and your Oklahoma's, Texas. Those teams that top 6, 7 teams that are in the middle right there. Your
Yep.
7 and your 8 play. Your 6 or your 7 play or whatever it's going to be. They're they lose. They're going to not have one player and they're going to be like it should be more. It's going to change.
What's gonna be
evolve
interesting
into
with
like a series type thing.
What's going to be interesting with that,
like
you were
double
saying-
elimination or something.
Exactly. I think what's going to be interesting is you're going to see teams complaining about we shouldn't have been playing this game.
Yeah.
You're going to see
Yeah.
number 1 through 4 saying, well, our season got fucked up because we added these 12 teams.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have been playing these like we shouldn't have been playing this game this week. I think that's gonna be a really interesting thing you're gonna see with these top teams that have been literally not having to deal with anybody else after their conference championship.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting seeing them deal with. Hey man, you still got to prepare for this random team that you didn't even think.
It's also
was
going to be okay to lose 1 to 2 games a season.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's going to be awesome.
yes. That's going to be because dude, the pressure to be a team who's literally trying to compete every year like Georgia and Alabama's
Right.
and Texas and Michigan's and whoever else. Dude, no, imagine the pressure of every season going into especially I'm thinking of Kirby Smart because out of all the coaches in the past 10 years, Kirby Smart's the only one that's going in 4 seasons in a row with the idea of I can't lose a game.
It's also going to be like
That's
True.
intense.
It's also going to be like NFL's not going to be able to like it because it's going to be risky. You're playing a bunch of competitive games. Like these at the end of the season, you get into the 12-team playoff. It's going to be very competitive, and like a bunch of players, I feel like are still going to. There's going to be players that opt out of it.
Yeah, I think we could see that
because NFL, because of their career and future and stuff. There's going to probably going to be some opt outs for like your 12.
I think college football is actually going to do something about that soon. I think the Florida State game was such a bad show on TV that they're going to have to do something about it. You can't have 15 guys on starting lineups out on one of your major bowl games.
Yeah, huge bowl game.
Huge bowl game. This is supposed to draw a lot of TV attention. This is supposed to be a big one.
I didn't even tune in because I was
No,
like,
I
this
didn't
isn't
either.
interesting.
There's no reason
Like,
to.
Yeah.
And so I feel like NCAA will probably end up doing something about that. Finish things up. Let's talk a little first of all, pro basketball. Anybody gonna play defense?
Dude,
Anybody gonna play defense?
never seen anything like it.
Luka's walking around the court like nobody's even on the fucking other team, dude. It's crazy. I was watching him just slowly walk to the rim and just throw a basket up, and it's like
I'm just saying, no matter how talented you are, you shouldn't be able to nonchalantly drop 70 in a game.
Amen.
Not in the NBA.
Amen.
not in the NBA where
Not in the NBA. You're in the NBA for a reason. You have the talent to be there on the starting lineup.
Yep.
Nobody should drop 70 on you.
and arguably a league that's gotten more talented. There's
Yeah.
more talented
There's so
athletes
much more
in the league.
talent.
How are guys now, dude?
Embiid's is crazy. 'cause
Dude
he
dropped
drops
70 like a drunk dad on Thanksgiving.
I
Just
swear to
kidding.
God, dude, it was crazy. His
drops-
shirt was he looked sloppy. out
70
there.
in 39 minutes.
What was it?
39 minutes.
30 minutes. It's crazy, dude. And then you have Embiid with what 73.
And Cat dropped 63.
Cat dropped 63.
62.
Booker dropped
62.
Booker
And
dropped
Booker dropped
50,
63 last
63.
night. Yeah.
So 63. Yeah,
We're
Luka
gonna
had
see a
73,
fucking-
yeah.
Somebody gonna break Wilt Chamberlain's record.
yeah, we're gonna have 100.
crazy,
it's coming.
dude.
It's coming. If this is if that, because hey, look, I am taking something away from Luka. Actually, that was not I was not watching that game. I can think back to the Kobe game where he dropped 81.
81.
Where he dropped 81, and you're watching a guy play his best basketball,
Yeah.
his absolute best basketball he could have put on that show. And I'm watching Luka drop 71, and I'm going, that wasn't.
It wasn't his
That
best.
wasn't his best game. That was
Couldn't have
not. I watched him play better basketball at Memphis when
Yeah.
he dropped 40 something on us. That was better basketball than I was watching right there. It just felt lazy. It just felt like
It was
Atlanta,
lazy. But the Hawks suck,
especially in a
dude.
game where the Hawks could have won that game.
Yeah, the
A
Hawks
bunch of
are
lazy, talented
terrible.
players. AD is one of the laziest people
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my life. He's obviously one of the most overpaid players in the league to me because he doesn't play defense.
I think Embiid's a little
Like
bit
you
different
should.
story because there isn't an answer to Embiid.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a legit answer for
Not
stopping
7
Embiid.
foot 280,
No,
no.
he's
Yeah.
so big,
So
he's
big.
and he's gotten so good now. I think Embiid was a little bit more deserved of a, but dude, damn
Wait,
man, that Luka
did you
game.
hear Dalt's stat about Embiid? If he missed 6 more games this season, he's out of the MVP running.
That's insane.
It's crazy. But he's missed a lot, dude.
Yeah.
He's missed a lot of the season.
I couldn't.
He missed a lot of the season, but every game he plays, you can guarantee at least 35.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it just should be taken in the games played. I don't think there should be a capped games. I think it should be taken into
There
the.
definitely should.
Is he the most talented player in the games he played? And Embiid, it's yes.
There's a couple of players that I'd put near Embiid because Jokic.
Yeah, Joker's good.
Yeah, and even Embiid plays a little bit lazy to me. I think he could play harder. I think he could play better defense.
I think so too. I think there's some times, but I mean, he has a team around him that
Embiid could be a better
But he's
rebounder.
also got some good defenders around him. I like Embiid a lot.
I like Embiid.
I love Embiid.
I think he's an elite scorer, big guy.
I like Embiid too because I think he's I don't know. I like guys that take pride in their teams. I like guys that stick it in places. I think Embiid plays the game the right way. I think I've always respected him that for. So watch your freaking tongue when you talk about him, dude. All right, NFL playoffs real quick. We're not going to talk about any of the games because this will come out after. Hopefully the Lions win. Hopefully the Ravens win.
Man, dude, I hope so.
Lord have mercy, dude, because I cannot
on
watch
them
Taylor
Lions,
Swift. I
baby.
can't
Can't
see
watch Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift anymore.
I can see Jason Kelsey though.
Dude, an
Yeah.
article.
Dude, he's
Yeah.
so awesome.
Ban
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Let's make Jason Kelsey the
Jason
star,
Kelsey.
dude.
Is Jason Kelsey the man?
Yeah, he's
is
so
he
cool.
Is he now officially the ambassador?
Oh,
of
dude,
football?
yeah.
He is so cool.
He is
yeah.
the cool. He's one
He's
of the coolest
awesome.
guys in
Please
football.
get a contract with Fox or
Please,
CBS.
dude.
Somebody.
He needs to be.
He
on
definitely
TV.
will.
Yeah, if he's
or,
not,
or Barstool or something.
Oh,
Dude,
dude.
yeah.
He would
Perfect
fit
for
in.
Barstool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd fit in really well there. I tell you what, dude, Jason Kelsey. You know what I respect him for? He stood up for the married men out there because he told his wife. He said, "I'm not really going to argue with you about taking my shirt off.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just going to go do it."
Yeah.
Right. He
And
basically.
she was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Yeah, that's a
Yes,
win for
yes,
us. That's
yes.
a win for
He
us.
did it. He did
Yes,
it, dude.
He did it.
Like he was in the crowd. I mean, he was tailgating with Bill's Mafia too before the game. Dude,
Yeah, I
It's
know.
Awesome.
And they
Man.
chugging beer with it.
Yeah.
They're all like pumped on. I'll put a couple. I'll put a
Yeah,
clip
he's
of
awesome.
that.
He's a nutcase.
But I was so done with the Taylor Swift thing when there was an article after that game explaining what swag surfing was. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done, dude.
cringe.
Dude,
I think
I
all
just-
the Memphis media,
all
I think
of
all of
Memphis
Memphis was
was like,
like,
oh.
this is
Lamar
the lamest
Jackson.
shit. All right, couple things that we want to talk about real quick before we cap it off. Do Bills ever pass Chiefs?
Dude,
Or they just have to wait till the
no.
Chiefs?
Josh Allen is like probably the most overvalued quarterback in the league to me.
he had a bad game.
I think
Had a
he
bad
has that
game.
Had a
game
bad
every
game.
year.
Every year.
He has that
No,
game.
he had a great game last year.
But he's the turnover god. Not this game. This game this year.
I'll get- no.
But in the regular season.
Yeah, he did that. He was his
Yeah.
interception rate was
No, but
And
last
fumbles.
year
and fumbles.
fumbles.
Last year they should have won, but defense let Mahomes score in 14 seconds or
Yeah.
whatever it was. That's ridiculous.
But that's
He was
Mahomes.
insane.
Mahomes
yeah.
is elite.
Dude, the Bills just need the Bills need a Super Bowl to like for their fans to break even.
Yeah.
Like they've been so punished. They need a Super Bowl just
Well,
to
there's a break
to
even,
zero.
yeah.
The other thing about the Bills though, with like the Chiefs, they're terrible at covering Kelsey. Kelsey
Yeah.
hasn't scored a touchdown in 5 weeks until he got to the Bills and scored 2.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
just
felt like everybody,
Kelsey in the playoffs in general.
yeah,
though.
but it felt like everyone else had a plan for Kelsey, and the Bills
Yeah.
didn't in that game. And It's
Yeah.
like, how do you not have
do
a
you not
plan
have
for
one?
Jason Kelsey?
The Bills also, to give them their shit, they did have a lot of players miss. Like
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of injuries this year. They don't have Tre'Davious White.
Dude,
Like,
I'm
their
double
best-
I'm double covering Kelsey every
Yeah.
play and letting that other receivers work.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but they
they
also
don't have literally Chiefs don't have no receiver.
Rice.
They have
No,
receivers.
they have
They
Rice.
Rice.
My
They
thing,
have Rice.
Mahomes' true talent shows to me because of what he does with the probably the worst. I mean,
His
statistically the
worst-
worst receiving
His
core,
his worst receiving core he's ever had.
and statistically the worst in the league with drops and
Yeah.
it's
That's
hard.
Honestly, it probably is the least talented in the league besides the Panthers.
And that is true. I think that has been one of the least things talked about this season.
They don't
is
have
that
they don't have a
Mahomes
wide
might be-
receiver one.
Yeah, this might be Mahomes' best season because of what he's worked.
Kelsey
with
is their wide receiver one.
I'm
That
saying
tight
their,
end.
but I'm saying their
Yeah.
wide receiver, their best receiver is not
Is,
a wide
is this
receiver
not
one on
Kelsey's
any
worst?
team.
This has been Kelsey's worst season. So
yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
still had
is.
1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
that's crazy.
That's so crazy.
So shout out Mahomes.
He had injuries though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But
He had
still, I
injury.
think Mahomes done a really, really good job. I think Reed's done a great job keeping
Yeah.
that team going, and play calling's good too. I mean,
yeah,
I'm putting it on Taylor Swift.
I'm putting on Taylor Swift. If they lose though, dude.
Yeah, dude.
She's-
yeah.
I
They
don't,
don't,
I don't even like hate Taylor Swift.
I
I,
don't
just
either.
like hate watching a broadcast where I have to keep looking at a press
Dude,
box.
yeah.
Like
They're giving her way
I
too
get
much
it, but
attention.
she's
It's for the
You
views.
get what
Yeah.
they're doing exactly. You have to put her on the screen. for
Got
the
to.
views. Because then you're bringing another fan base into that sport.
Do you
Yeah.
know how popular popular Taylor Swift is?
Oh, very.
She's
Oh,
so
yeah.
popular, dude, that her fans watch Jason practice. Like they watch the practice broadcast for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Do you
That's
know how many-
insane.
Chiefs fans don't even watch
Do you
Chiefs.
know how big,
practice, dude? It's
do
crazy.
you know how big the Chiefs fan base grew this year?
Yeah, it's probably
Oh,
It's
it's-
fucking ridiculous.
wow.
the Swifties. But the last thing I want to talk about, and Dawgs got some words about this.
Here we
I'm
go.
a little shocked that things weren't shaking up in Dallas. I'm surprised McCarthy's coming back. I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Dak coming back.
Dalton
Dalton's
hate
not.
Dak.
Dalton doesn't think Dak should.
Dak is terrible. He can't get the job done. He's shown it.
You can't. It would be a hard sell to anybody
He
to
has
cut Dak
weapons.
after his best season.
He has. I think it's McCarthy too, though.
Yeah, I think McCarthy.
But I definitely think it's Dak.
Yeah, I think McCarthy. is still riding on Aaron Rodgers. That Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl.
Well, first of all, he's
Yeah.
got Tony Pollard, and he doesn't use him like right.
No,
one
he
of the
doesn't. It's
Pollard
weird.
not being used right with one of the best offensive lines in the league. Dak Prescott had an MVP season, but we knew he was going to choke at the end of the year.
Yeah, but let's
Bring back Jimmy Johnson.
let's be dude.
Dude, he was on a
let's get
rant.
classy.
Man, that was
Dude,
awesome.
so
But that's
That was
that's how
awesome.
Cowboys
mad.
have always been. They have overrated quarterbacks every time. Tony Romo overrated. Troy Aikman overrated. All these quarterbacks so overrated.
Yeah,
And
I will agree with the Troy Aikman statement. Yes.
Troy Aikman and Tony Romo
Troy
both
Aikman
so overrated.
Dude, Troy Aikman.
I'm putting that as a clip. You're gonna get
Okay.
No, he won't.
Really?
No,
You-
I agree with the Troy Aikman thing.
Troy Aikman's overrated.
Way overrated. Emmitt Smith was a stud.
It's the same thing as
The
people
fucking
like-
wide receivers were a stud. You had a all full Hall of Fame defense. Like he
There's a
was
bunch of
set up for
players like that,
success
though.
from that team.
The only argument I have for Dak to get a little bit of slack in that playoff game was that he scored enough points to win.
It wasn't just a playoff
Yeah.
game, though. It was
They
like the last
scored,
2
but they
weeks of
scored
regular
enough points to
They
win.
scored
that
enough to
game.
win.
He also
defense-
threw- He also threw a pick six and another pick. Like,
Absolutely, but I mean that's a good. They have a really good defense. Who had
Supposedly.
right
allegedly.
They had plenty of points though.
Hey,
to win that game.
Michael Parsons actually
It's
got
like-
some
but it's like the
flags,
same-
thrown again,
He
for
did.
holding.
To me, it's
Like, that's
blasphemy
for
to
a
say it
first.
might not be Dak, though, because you're talking about the same thing about James Franklin. They go to the same spot every year and lose. So they're not getting it done. So why would they keep Dak?
I would be more terrified of my team getting worse because of taking a chance on a hire and a quarterback change. It's like, well, damn, dude, we're making playoffs.
Yeah.
we're in the
Now,
runs for championship.
I will say this though about the Cowboys. I would be targeting a quarterback in the draft. Like
One's
just-
got a good overhead, like we've got
right,
some
exactly.
good. Some
just in case.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I'd trade him for a third rounder.
Crazy, Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott right now. I'd trade
You
him
would
a
trade
For
third
for
one
third
third round
I-
pick.
I would-
Because Dak went to state.
I wouldn't give a third round for him.
For Dak Prescott.
For Dak
Dude,
Prescott, if
stop.
tell me a t- I can't
Stop.
think of I can't think of many quarterbacks I would not have over Dak Prescott.
All right, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
No, I take Dak. I said there's a few. You're going to name the worst first. Yeah.
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell for sure.
You're taking him
What?
Sam Howell.
Oh my
Sam
God.
Howell.
dude.
Hot Howell.
This is-
100%.
These are hot-
This is
these are
great
hot
take.
takes.
This is
These are
great
hot
take to
takes.
end on.
Sam
Dylan.
Howell. I'm taking him
This is
over
a great
Dak
take to
Prescott.
end on.
Yeah.
Especially in the
Holy
playoffs.
cow.
We've never even seen him really in the
Dude,
playoffs.
We ain't even seen him in the playoffs.
I don't
bro.
care.
Oh, my
We've
God.
seen that.
Justin
Maybe
Fields?
this year. Yes, Justin Fields.
Gardner Minshew.
Yes, Gardner Minshew.
Oh.
Yes, Gardner Minshew.
Dude, stop.
I'm taking him. Look,
It's bad.
you've seen
DeVito.
Gardner. We've seen
DeVito.
Gardner Minshew what he does
DeVito.
in the playoffs
Dude, but you're
with the
talking about,
Jaguars.
All right, but you're talking
not
about
this Jaguars. Earlier, before this Jaguars.
Yeah, but you're talking about as a GM, how do you explain to your fan base, hey, we're going to get rid of a guy that passed for over 4,000 yards, 36 tutties,
But
and
loses every year in the first round of the
Hold
playoffs.
on, hold on now, 36 tutties and 9 picks, and we're going to get someone better than that.
Okay, yeah.
Which there's
what do y'all
there's
want
not
to do?
many people.
What do y'all want to do? Because we're literally saying, hey, all right, hey, I'm gonna give you a 4,000 yard MVP season, but we're gonna choke the first year of the playoffs. What would you rather
But
have?
you
I will
can't
say the
replace
Cowboys.
first round
I
better.
will say though, the Cowboys fan base can't really argue about much anymore, just because like I will agree with Dalton on some aspects, not the Sam Howell part, but
Sam Howell's Sam Howell's
That's a little dicey there.
Sam Howell's really good.
I feel like the Cowboys fan base will try anything at this point to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
So anything to help the program, they can't really argue. But
Yeah.
Sam Howell's not it.
He might be.
No, he's
Dude,
not.
stop.
I can get the argument
not.
of like,
He's not.
hey, something has to change because we're not making it to the next step. But cutting a quarterback who has 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions, it's like there's nobody better right now that you're gonna pick up.
Sam
I
Howell.
mean, if we're
had-
talking about it's a regular season, Dak's a top 5 quarterback in the league every year. Like,
Yeah, it's so
like regular
no
season,
matter
yes.
no matter what happened in that playoff, I feel like you cannot cut.
You can't.
A guy who had a fantastic regular season. I don't
You
care
can't.
what you can't because you're not. There's no way.
then you can't fire James Franklin at Penn State.
I agree. I don't think you can fire him.
You can't apparently. But I'm
No,
saying
I'm-
I'm just saying to me the Cowboys they can either keep losing the first round of the playoffs and. But they could probably get a better quarter. I mean, they could definitely get a better quarterback who can do the same thing. You know how many quarterbacks pass for 4,000 yards? Like 5 every year. So there's 5 out there, and sometimes
what I
more.
just
They're
said.
getting locked
There's
up.
5. There's
what I
5.
just said.
Five.
Sometimes more. So what I'm
Okay.
saying is, you have at least probably 4 or 5 other players that you can go for that can do and definitely do
Like
better
who,
in the
Pat Mahomes?
playoffs.
All right,
think they're gonna
Dylan,
trade
this
for Pat
conversation is about
Mahomes?
to go for an hour if we don't end
Yeah,
it.
guys. That was crazy.
We're gonna
That was
fight-
crazy.
We're gonna
That's
fight for
crazy.
this for an
This
hour.
is
if we don't
crazy
get
at the
it.
end, bro.
Sam Howell
Yeah,
over Dak.
that's a real.
That's
Guys,
so bad.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be
That-
back. We'll be back 2 weeks.
I will say though, that's the worst take I've ever heard on this.
Might be.
Yeah,
Crazy. No, but
that's
we
a
haven't
worst
seen- we haven't
take.
seen
Yeah.
Sam Howell, he's passed for more 300-yard games, and yeah, he might throw a couple more picks. But he also hasn't lost.
All right, we'll leave
Hey,
that. Close
hold
out.
on.
Sam
Any
Howell,
playoff games.
Sam Howell for Dak.
Hey,
Whatever.
let me get this real quick.
Yeah.
This is for real, by the way. I'm just
Okay.
just so you can cut
Absolutely.
this here. Hey, Gardner Minshew or Dak Prescott?
I just said it, Gardner Minshew. I already said this.
Whatever. All right, guys, we'll be
This
back
dude,
2 weeks.
dude.
Love you guys. Thank you. Subscribe, like, whatever. Bye.